Hari Om. Starting with invocation, let us chant the part 2 of Kenopanisad. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayandu Mamangani Vakranachachushrotramhato Balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakaro Dhanirakaranamastvanirakaranam mestu Tadatmani nirateya upanishadsu dharmaste mayi santu te mayi santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yedi manyase subhedeti tabrame vapi nunam tvam vetha brahmano rupam. Yadasya tvam yadasya deveshvathanumi mamsyameva te manye viditam. Naham manye suvedeti no na vedeti vedaja. Yo nastat veda tat veda no na vedeti vedaja. Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasaha. Avijñātam vijānatam vijñātam avijānatam. Pratibodha viditam matam amrtatvam hi vindate. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. Iha cheda vedi tata satyamasti na chediha vedin mahati vinashtihi. Bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhira pretyasman lokatamrita bhavanti.
Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. By what? Kena. By what the matter appears to be sentient is the question. Part 1. That's how the Upanishad starts. Keneshitam padati preshitam manaha kena prana pratama praiti yukta. So, first thing that is understood here is what makes everything which is jada appears to have life. What is that life-giving entity? What is that life force that makes everything to function as though it has life on its own? There is a moon and then there is a moonlight. There is a moon and then there is something called moonlight. What is it that makes the moon to have light is the question. Are you able to understand what the question is? What is it that makes you to see that moon has moonlight? What makes the moon to have moonlight? Is it intrinsic to the moon? Even though we say moonlight, when you use the word moonlight, it means the light belongs to the moon. Correct? Whenever you say moonlight, the light appears to belong to the moon. But does moon have any light? Therefore, the moon borrows the light from elsewhere and it appears to have moonlight. So moonlight equals moon borrowing light. Are you able to understand the formula now? Moonlight equals moon plus borrowing light from somewhere. Now, let us forget from where it is borrowing. First, understand that it is borrowing. Are you okay till now? Moonlight equals human being. Now, rephrase. Now, change it. Moonlight equals human being. What is the human being formula? Spirit plus matter. The moon is the matter. Matter appears to have life just as the moon appears to have light, whereas in reality, the moonlight is nothing but the borrowed light. Are you okay till now? Up to this point, the student has arrived by himself. That's the first question. Part 1, first question. Up to this, the student has arrived by himself, and then he is asking Kena. From where does the moon get its light? Are you able to follow? நமக்கு அந்த கேள்வியே வராது ஏன்னா நமக்கு மூன் லைட்டே லைட் means we have not done enough homework to understand that moon is borrowing light. So up to the moon there is a clarity. What is the clarity to the moon? Moon by itself doesn't have any light. It is inert, it is dark, it is jadam. From where it is borrowing. Keneshitam padati preshitam manaha kenaf pranaf pratamaf praiti yuktah, etc. Question. For which the answer he gave is, what is the answer he gave? Shrotrasya Shrotram. The moonlight is reflection of the light. He doesn't say sunlight and all. It is light. It reflects. So, what is the answer? Shrotrasya Shrotram. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoye. All that he said. And then he spoke about Brahman. What is that light? What is the nature of that light? That is Brahman. Laypersons term it as God. Technical word that is used is consciousness. The layperson's word for it is God. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. That which takes you closer to God is this understanding, not what you worship. That which takes you closer to God is this, not what he went on explaining it. Extraordinary question, extraordinary answer. Now what is happening is part 2. Idallam part 1 story. Now we are coming to part 2 story. What is part 2? Having said all this, the teacher is testing. The teacher wants to test whether the Uttamadhikari has rightly understood. If the Madhyamadhikari has not understood, further explain to him. So he wants to check whether the understanding is happening rightly or not. For which Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate is direct knowledge. There is no language of contradiction there. Are you able to follow? Part 1 lala, there is no language of contradiction. It's a very clear assertions. Part 2 la, what he started? Language of contradiction. What is the first mantra in part 2? Language of contradiction started. What is the language there? Yadi manyasesu vededi dabramevapi nunam Tvam veta brahmano rupam. What all you think I have understood based on what I said is not what it is. Because if you think I know well, you perhaps know very little. ஒன்னும் புரிஞ்சிச்சுன்னு சொன்னா ஒன்னும் புரியலன்னு அர்த்தம். That's what he said. If you say I have understood, it means you didn't understand. The form of Brahman you have known relate to that of gods. Therefore, now that which is to be known, I think is still to be ascertained by. So what is he saying now? If you think you know well, you perhaps know nothing at all. If you think you know well, அதுதான் question. அங்க. Are you able to follow? அதுக்கு மந்த்ரா நம்பர் 2ல ஆன்சர். I do not think I know well. If you think you know well, அதுக்கு ஆன்சர் என்ன? I do not think I know well. Naham manyesu vedeti. I do not think I know well. Tvam veta, Guru is saying. Aham na Shishya is saying. Are you able to understand the difference? If you think Guru is saying you. Now in the second mantra, it is I. Naham. Tvam veta is mantra 1. Naham is mantra 2. Naham enna artham? Na aham. Means I do not think. Who is saying that? The Shishya is saying. Based on what the Guru taught, the Shishya is saying, I do not think I know well. Not that I do not know, I know for certain. He among us who knows that. He among us who does not know also knows. Extraordinary Upanishad where the Guru is saying and where the Guru is talking and the Shishya is claiming I am enlightened. This conversation you will never find in any other Upanishad. Are you able to follow? Mantra 1 like he is saying, do you think you know well? You know nothing at all. Mantra 2, he immediately speaks the language of enlightenment. The Shishya speaks the language of enlightenment. What is the language of enlightenment? Contradictions is the language of enlightenment. Again, please understand. Contradictions is the language of enlightenment. When I say contradictions is the language, means it will appear contradictory. Again, they are not contradictory. It appears to be contradictory. That is why we always ask, say one thing. Correct. Say one thing. Say one thing. The Shishya spoke. When Shishya spoke, the Guru is so excited. That excitement of the Guru is mantra 3. And then 4 and 5 summary of the entire Upanishad. That's how part 2 is going to end. So whatever the student says in mantra 2, the Guru is very excited as it were. Actually, it is excitement only. Because what a satisfaction it will give to the Guru when a Shishya says, when a Shishya speaks like this. So tremendously satisfying it is for the Shishya. Now the Guru is excited now and the Guru reaffirms it. Whatever the Shishya says, the Guru is reaffirming, reconfirming. What is the reconfirmation? Mantra 3. அதுதான் நேத்திக்கு பாதியில் அதுதான் முடிச்சோம் நேத்திக்கு. யஸ்யாமதம் தஸ்ய மதம் மதம் யஸ்யன வேதசஹ அவிஜ்ஞாதம் விஜானதாம் விஜ்ஞாதம் அபிஜானதாம். Whoever does not comprehend that, he knows that. Whosoever comprehends that, he knows not that. That is unknown to those who comprehend. That is unknown to those who do not comprehend. Whatever the Shishya spoke in mantra 2, The Guru is repeating it in mantra 3. That is why it is called reaffirmation. He's not saying anything new, but the pun is the words changes. You are able to follow? He only changes the word. What is the word? Veda. That is the Veda. How to put it in a layperson's term? Mantra 3. How would you put it in layperson's term? Mantra 3. You cannot put it in layperson's term. Why you cannot put it in layperson's term? Because enlightenment is not something that can be put in layperson's term. Some vague indicators can be given. Some vague connection can be made. Directly, it cannot be told. Because if it can be told directly, it is explaining what enlightenment is. It is explaining what Brahman is. That is not possible. And then, what does it mean? In any worldly knowledge, is the layperson's term. In any worldly knowledge, the knower doesn't become the object of knowledge. Are you able to follow? In any knowing, the knower doesn't become the object of knowledge. In Brahman, the knower becomes the known. It means the one who is knowing becomes the object of knowing. இது எப்படி layperson systemல போடுறது? நேத்தி மெத்தட் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணணும். Only by நேத்தி method you can put it. What is நேத்தி method? I know apple. You can know the physical properties of apple. You can know the chemical properties of apple. You can know what it can be used for. You can know what it cannot be used for. All this you can know about apple. But one thing you can never say, that what? You can never say, now that I know apple, I am apple. Can you say that? Again, I repeat. Now that you say, I know apple, you will only say, and apple பத்தி ஃபுல்லா தெரியும், கம்ப்ளீட்டா தெரியும். ஆப்பிள பத்தி எனக்கு தெரியாத மேட்டரே கிடையாது. One thing you can never say, what? One thing you cannot say, what? I am apple. தெரிஞ்சிட்டாலே அதுவா மாறிடுறது கிடையாது. That is worldly knowledge. Are you able to follow? தெரிஞ்ச உடனே you don't become that. Here in Brahman, what happens when it comes to Brahma Vidya? As soon there is no time gap at all between knowing and becoming. How do you understand that there is no time gap at all between knowing and becoming? அதுக்கு தான் ஈசாவாசிய drama of realization ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும். In Isavasya Upanishad, drama of realization, the student said, that light is so brilliant, let me experience it at least for a second. Even before he say, let me experience it, what happens there? Soham asmi. Are you able to follow? That happens. So the Shishya said, Soham asmi in mantra 2. One is the Guru saying, Soham asmi, Soham asmi, Soham asmi. Another thing is, he has communicated it so well, and the person has become that and saying, I have become that. You follow? Like Ashtavakra tells Janaka, at the end of the conversation, you and me will become one, he said. That's the At the end of the conversation, Ashtavakra told Janaka, pay my fees now, he said. Remember, other stories connect all that, it will be easy. You follow? He says, pay my fees now. But fees வந்து அப்புறமா தானே பே பண்ணுவாங்க. இந்த Kenopanisad ஏதாவது ஃபீஸ் வச்சிருக்கேல? ஒன்றும் இல்ல வெங்கட். இருக்கிறதே வரமாட்டேன்றது தெரியல. இருக்கிறதே வரல இதுல. சாய், I was looking for you only. Sai, any fees is there for this? Nothing, no. It doesn't matter. Even though it is very depressing, we'll continue. Ashtavakra tells Janaka, pay the fees now. Why? Because at the end of the discourse, you will say Naham Manyasi Vedeti, you will talk. After you talk in Naham Manyasi Vedeti, how can I ask you for Guru Dakshina and all? Give it to me. Duality irukumbode, settle the accounts, he is saying. Settle the accounts in duality itself. All accounts must be settled now only. Or if you don't settle the accounts here, you can never get there. இல்லையா? கொஞ்சம் வச்சுட்டு அங்கே போயிட்டு திருப்பி வரலாம், அதெல்லாம் முடியாது. இங்கே செட்டில் ஆனால் தான் அங்கே வரவே முடியும். ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் வெங்கட் மெசேஜ் போட்டுருங்க எல்லாருக்கும். கேட்டவங்க கேட்காதவங்க வந்தவங்க வராதவங்க எல்லாரும் ஃபீஸ் பே பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா இந்த டியூவாலிட்டி முடிச்சாதான் they can go there. So he's so excited, when he's so happy, he's so excited, so happy that the Shishya has saying Naham Manyesu Vedeti. So the Upanishad is getting excited about its own teaching now. Yeah. சொல்லி கொடுத்து somebody should get excited, motivated, that is understandable. வேதாந்தாலாம் உல்டா ராம் சுப்ரமணியம் சொல்லி கொடுக்குறவருக்கே எக்ஸைட்மெண்ட் ஜாஸ்தி ஆகுது, சொல்லி கொடுக்குறவருக்கே மோட்டிவேஷன் ஜாஸ்தி ஆகுது. எஸ்யா மதம் தஸ்ய மதம் மதம் எஸ்யன வேதசஹ விஜ்ஞாதம் விஜானதாம் விஜ்ஞாதம் அபிஜானதாம். அதுதான் மந்திரத்தில். So he is acknowledging correct. What he said is correct. Up to this we concluded. இப்போ என்னாச்சு? உபனிஷத் முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. Upanishad should have been technically, for all practical purpose, mantra 2 ode Upanishad is over. Mantra 3 extra addition. Now why this 4 and 5? நாகம் மன்யேசு வேதேதி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒருத்தர் ஏந்து போயிட்டாரு. One fellow got up and left. Yasya matam tasya matam. He stood for a second, heard that and left. Now the guru is looking, there are others sitting. நம்மெல்லாம் உட்கார்ந்துருக்கிறோம். சும்மா டிராமாட்டிக்கா எழுந்து போனாலும் ஒன்றும் நடக்காது. கமிஷனர், I got up and went, sir. சும்மா இதெல்லாம் இல்லையா? குக்கர் ஆஃப் பண்ண ஏந்து போறதெல்லாம் will not be considered as part of getting up and going. Come back. Now there are others sitting. What? Now the guru continues. And what does he continue? One of the profound mantras of Upanishads is mantra 4. And part 2 mantra 4, one of the profound Upanishads. Because the entire summary and Brahmajnana method is given here. Previously there is no method needed. He understood and left. Now there is the group that is sitting. For them, what is needed? Method is needed. So beautifully he summarizes the entire thing in mantra 4. Now we will study mantra 4. Mantra 4 padinga.
Pratibodha viditam matamamritatvam hi vindate Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. Pratibodha viditam matamamritatvam hi vindate Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam.
Indeed, one attains immortality by awareing the consciousness through every experience. Through oneself, one attains power. Through knowledge, one attains immortality. Indeed, one attains immortality by availing the consciousness through every experience. Through oneself, one attains power. Through knowledge, one attains immortality. Atmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate amrutam. Okay. That's the first let us study. Pratibodha vididam. The Sanskrit word bodha means experience. தமிழ்ல போதைன்னு என்ன அர்த்தம்? இன்டாக்சிகேஷன் அர்த்தம் இல்லையா? பிரதிபோத விதிதம். பிரதி மீன்ஸ் இன் everything. This mantra is significant, very, very significant. Why it is very significant? Because, carefully follow, Brahma Jnanam is not a new experience. Brahma Jnanam is not a new experience. Brahma Jnanam is not a new experience, neither is it a better experience. It's not new, it's not better, it's already there. Are you able to follow? Pratibodha viditam. How do you know that? Pratibodha viditam. See, bodha na, the Sanskrit word that he is using is Pratibodha viditam. If you look at the meaning, bodha means awareness of the enlightening factor behind the thought. Awareness of the enlivening factor behind all thoughts. All thoughts na thoughts, emotions, actions, perception, down the line, everything is included. Okay, what is this? What is this awareness principle that is behind all thought and everything? We started with that example. Moonlight. Human being equals spirit plus matter. Human being ke edu equate pannom? Moonlight. Moonlight is inert, dark, lifeless moon plus light. Are you able to follow? Moon is inert, dark, lifeless. So, inert, dark, lifeless moon reflecting the light appears as moonlight. So, wherever you use the word moonlight, you understand you are using the word moonlight for transactional purposes. In reality, it is sunlight. Correct? Even though for transactional purposes, we call it as moonlight. Actually, the word moonlight is wrong. At least this much we understand, no? Actually, moonlight is wrong because the word moonlight implies as though moon has its own original light. Moon itself is a source of light. Moon itself has light. Why do we talk about moonlight? See, supposing if there's a group of people sitting and talking in the moon, they will say earth light. Imagine a group of people sitting in moon and talking. What will they talk about? The earth light. Earth is dark. Correct? Earth is dark. Space length பார்த்தா one half of the earth is pitch dark, other half of the earth is brilliantly lit. That part of the earth that is brilliantly lit is because of the light getting reflected. Reflection வார்த்தையை விட்டுறக்கூடாது. You should not say sunlight. If you say sunlight, you didn't understand. Sunil, are you able to follow? You should not say sunlight. It is sunlight hitting the earth and reflecting. So what you are seeing is not the sunlight. It is the sunlight reflected on the surface of the earth. The people in the moon will call it as earth light. Similarly, we say moonlight means the sunlight hitting the surface of the moon and getting reflected is what we call as moonlight. Therefore, what is moonlight? Reflected light. Reflected light nale or reflecting medium வேணும். Supposing if the reflecting medium isn't there, it will appear dark only. That's why between two planets it's pitch dark. Why between two planets it is pitch dark? அங்க லைட் இல்லையா? அங்க reflecting medium இல்ல. Wherever there is a reflecting medium only, it gets reflected. Are you able to follow? Are you okay till now? அப்படின்னா from morning till night, from the time you wake up to go to sleep, from the time for what he calls as cradle to graveyard, you have infinite opportunities to experience the light. Pratibodha Viditam. அதுதான் அர்த்தம். Narayana, able to follow? Beautiful sadhana this is. Pratibodha Viditam. ஆகம் மன்யேசுன்னு எழுந்து போயிட்டாரு. ஏன்னா அவருக்கு மெத்தட்லாம் வாழவே வேணாம். But there are people who are still left behind. They need methods. That's why Naham Manyesu Vedeti, we will prostrate and say it is great. Wherever a method is given, that we claim it as much more superior. Why? Because it is the method that is giving us a technique. Our greatness சொல்லின்னு இருக்கிறதுல பிரயோஜனம் இல்லை. What if I do, I'll become great. If somebody tells you that, that is greater than that. Are you able to follow? This person is great, this person is great, this person is great. Okay, very good. I prostrate to him, everything is fine. But where am I? I want to get there. Abdina, somebody comes and says, what if you do, you can get there. That is the mantra 4. Pratibodha Viditam. Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatvam hi vindate. Vindatena அவருக்கு கிடைக்கும். ஈஸியா கிடைச்சிரும்ன்ற. Are you able to understand now? Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatvam hi vindate. பேசினே இருக்கலாம் அதை பத்தி. அதுக்கு தான் we said ஒரு பார்ட்டும் ஒரு retreat we will conduct. Pratibodha Viditam அவ்வளோ சொல்லலாம். It means what? See, light is not a new thing that you are bringing in. That's why we said Brahma Jnanam is not a new experience nor any modification of your current experience. It's not a better experience of all your experiences, nor is it a brand new experience. அதுதான் Pratibodha Viditam. It means what? Srotrasya Srotram. When your eyes are seeing, you can be reminded of God. When your ears are hearing, you can be reminded of God. That's practice. When your eyes are seeing, don't get carried away by what you see. Are you able to follow? When you hear something, don't get carried away by what you hear. What we see, we get carried away. What we see, what we hear, we get carried away. Sthita Prajna Sadhana connected to Sthita Prajna. When we did Sthita Prajna, we defined it into two. Sthita Prajna Lakshana and Sthita Prajna Sadhana. You remember? Vijay. When we did Sthita Prajna, we did these two. Lakshana and Sadhana. This is a Sthita Prajna Sadhana. What is a Sthita Prajna Sadhana? In every perception, you have an opportunity to remember the divine. In every action, you have an opportunity to remember the divine. In every emotion, there is an opportunity. In every thought. It means through your perception, action, feeling, thinking, contemplation, God is there already. And that is God, not what you worship there. That is God, not what you worship there. That is God and not what you worship there. What you worship there is a symbolic representative of what is happening inside. It's symbolic. That's why 5 times he repeated. What did he repeat for 5 times? Now you should remember, isn't it? What did he repeat for? What did he repeat for 5 times? Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. Then what is this brahmajnanam then? Brahmajnanam is a recognition of the ever-present light. What is the knowledge of light? Knowledge of light is not bringing in light. Knowledge of light is not creating light. Knowledge of light simply means recognizing the ever-present light. Similarly, what is Brahmajnanam? Brahmajnanam is recognizing the ever-experienced Brahman. It is there. It is there already. In all experiences, it's there already. Are you able to follow? In all the 3 states, it is there. Adu Mandukya. In all the koshas, it is there. Taitriya. Here he is saying, in all the perceptions, actions, feelings, thinking, contemplator. Part B Vedanta treatise, first lesson. Human composition. Human is defined as PAFTC. Human being is split into 5 components in part B Vedanta treatise, first lesson, human composition. அதில் என்ன போட்டிருப்பாங்க? PAFTC, perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. PAFTC na perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. If you miss in perceiver, you can catch it in actor. If you miss it in actor, you can catch it in feeler. If you can miss it in feeler, you can catch it in thinker. If you catch it in thinker, you can catch it in contemplator. Sir, waking state la ellathiyum uttuta. At least in dream state you can catch. Not in the dream actually. What he means is there are 3 states. What enables you to go through that? You can remember that. So, the ever experienced factor is consciousness. Not only it is ever experienced, it is ever changeless. Therefore, what is Brahman? The changeless, ever-present consciousness. Are you able to understand the derivation? Changeless, ever-present consciousness. A human being is getting mixed up. If you see a human being is getting mixed up. What is the human being getting mixed up? Upon observation, அதுதான் பிரதிபோத விதிதம். Are you okay till now? Pratibodha viditam means upon experience, you can understand one thing. What can you understand one thing? There is the ever-changing thought in you, and there is the ever-changeless consciousness. So in you, you can experience 2 factors. What are the 2 factors that you can experience in yourself? The changeless consciousness and the ever-changing thoughts. The ever-changing thoughts is lightened up by consciousness. That's why if somebody has fainted, they will say, conscious argrara parpa, they say, isn't it? They tap, isn't it? Even when the newborn is born, when it is not showing any sign of life, what do? You know that what do? They tap. They will hold the child upside down. You will get scared. It looks like they're going to murder your child. Yeah. They will hold the child upside. Yeah, this much only it will be. Hold the child upside down and happen up. They know how to do it. So they tap. Consciousness. If consciousness is not experienced, what will happen? If consciousness is not backing it, what will happen? It's like asking, what will happen if light goes? What will happen if light goes? You can't see. You can't see anything because all experiences are a mixture. Take all seeing is a mixture of the unchanging light and the moving objects and beings. இதுதான் பிரதிபோத விதிதம். According to Upanishad, this is sadhana for mediocre student. மந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு என்ன மந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்லாம் வராதிங்கப்பான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க போட்டு இல்லையா? Go to some other class, they may say. This is the sadhana for the mediocre student. What is it? Multiple variety of objects, all bathed by a uniform light. அதுதான் பிரதிபோத விதிதம். Multiple experiences bathed, enlivened by one consciousness. What is the multiple experiences? Perceiver, actor, feeler, thinker, contemplator. It is, first we said, it is changeless. And then we say it is ever present. It means Brahma Jnanam doesn't create anything new. Brahma Jnanam is in recognition of what is here now. This what is here now nu solradhukku dhaan, I think somewhere in this classroom only we discussed. We used two words, knowing and knowledge. So I don't remember when I spoke, but I remember speaking about this knowledge and knowing. In the knowing and this. Are you able to follow? This knowing. What is it? Moonlight is not moonlight. Moonlight is not moonlight. What is Brahma Jnanam? All along you have been thinking you having taken yourself to be a finite, everything that comes out of you also must be finite. Because you have taken you to be finite. Having believed you are a finite, all that comes out of you must also be finite only. That's why Vaikuntha Loka will not be all-pervading Loka. Vaikuntha Loka also will have a boundary. Visa wangin bonadu, isn't it? Vaikuntha Loka also will have a boundary. Shiva Loka will also have a boundary. Boundary means what it is? It is restricted. It is finite. So, before knowledge, you will say moonlight. After knowledge, you will say light. Are you okay? Pratibodha viditam na? Before knowledge, it is called moonlight. After knowledge, it is called light. Before knowledge, you are called Jiva. After knowledge, it is Brahma. Are you able to follow now? Moonlight is it is not an experience, it is the change of understanding. Brahmajnanam is not a matter of experience. That's why we always say human being experience hunters constantly ask for experience of Brahman, because we are all experience hunters. We want only, we are addicted to experience. That addiction to experience is Manda Adhikari. Manda illa. Uttama, Madhyama, Manda. இதெல்லாம் மத்தியம அதிகாரிக்கு இதெல்லாம் பேசுறது. Manda Adhikari means the lowest form of seeker. Who's the lowest form of seeker? Constantly hunting experiences. Hunting experiences nale avoid painful experiences and quote pleasant experiences. Dukkha nivarti sukha prapti avladhaan unakku. Able to follow? Dukkha nivarti sukha praptiye thavara vera purpose e kedaiyadhu life la. What to call that fellow? What to adama lowest category, lowest category. I do not experience, the I doesn't get any new experience because the I is ever present. Adhan pratibodha viditam. It's not the I has acquired a new. The I is ever present. Pratibodha viditam. Pratibodha viditam. Viveka Chudamani, he takes it up and elaborates it into lot of shlokas, explaining the shift from Jiva Bhava to Brahma Bhava. This is the shift from Jiva Bhava to Brahma Bhava. Sir, Jiva Bhava ve varliye. I have not even understood that I am a Jiva. I am still thinking I am a Sharira. If you are still thinking that you are a Sharira, na, 3 types of adhikaris. Yaru? Uttama, Madhyama, Adama. I am the Sharira nu nenichirukravanga endha category? Asura category. Because it is the Asura that is stuck at the level of the Sharira. Sharira means senses. Sharira means the senses. And the vast majority of human beings are stuck at the level of the Sharira. So what does Upanishad do? With all compassion, it will want to bring the person from Sharira Bhava to Jiva Bhava. The Jiva Bhava Vandaka, you have become a Jiva Bhava Vanda, you have become a Adama. Adamaku sadhana. Enadu Pratibodha Viditam. He becomes Madhyama. Madhyama, if he continues whatever the practice is, he will become Uttama. And what is Uttama? Naham Manyeshu Vedeti, Nona Vedeti, or whatever we have been discussing till now. Mortality to immortality is not a transformation. Adam Brahmajnana. Mortality to immortality. Immortal, I was always. Immortal, I am. Immortal, I will be. Means past, present and future, the same. Experience hunter will say, sir, அப்படியே இருந்தா போர் அடிக்காதோ பிரம்மனுக்கு. ஒரு வெரைட்டி இருந்தா தான் நல்லா இருக்கும். isn't it? லைஃப்னா வெரைட்டி வேணும் சார். சாப்பாடுல கூட வெரைட்டி இருந்தா தான் நல்லா இருக்கும். isn't it? ஒரே சாப்பாடு எப்படி இருக்கும்? ஸோ ஒரே எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வில் பி போரிங். Pratibodha viditam amrutatvam hi vindate. He attains immortality அப்படின்னா vindate not attaining. Even though in English we have to translate it like that. In English we have to translate it like that. There's no other appropriate. But actually what it means is what? Moonlight doesn't get transformed to sunlight. Does moonlight get transformed to sunlight? It is a recognition that whatsoever you have been calling as moonlight is nothing but sunlight. Correct? Whatsoever we have been calling as moonlight is nothing but sunlight. Therefore, you can't say from moonlight I transformed it to sunlight. அதுக்கு என்ன திருஷ்டாந்த, அதுக்கு என்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுப்போம்? The snake doesn't get converted back into a rope. Does the snake ever get converted back into a rope? It cannot. It need not. இந்த ஷரீர பாவால இருந்து வெளில வரதுக்கு தான் பகவத்கீதால he helps a lot. Verses 11 to 30 of chapter 2 is shifting from sharira bhava to jiva bhava. And the 20 verses is very important to bring the shift from sharira to najayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuyah ajo nitya sashvatoyam puranah நஹன்யதே ஹன்யமானே ஷரீரே. ஷரீர போன ஜீவ கண்டினியூ தான் நான் போறது. That's what he told. அர்ஜுனா, what are you crying? ஜீவாவே உனக்கு புரியலையா? And then comes ஜீவ யாத்ரா. அந்த ஜீவான்னு வந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் அதுக்கு ஒரு புக் இருக்கு, ஜீவ யாத்ரான்னு ஒரு புக், introductory text book to Vedanta. There are 100 books we will quote and all the book we will call as introductory text book. என்னைக்குதான் மெயின் டெக்ஸ்ட் புக் வருவோமோ தெரியல. There is one textbook called Jiva Yatra, which is an introductory textbook too, because that person has shifted from what? Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. The death of the body is not death of the jiva, because the jiva continues. You போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அடுத்த வீடு ரெடி பண்ணிட்டாருப்பா. Why are you crying? He's asking. Everyone follow? See, before you vacate this house, what will you do? Before you destroy this house, Munsami Salaya. Correct? Munsami Salay? Very nalla. Change the name of the boat. Before you break it up, what will you do? You will ready something. After readying only you leave. Who's doing that? The jiva readied another house, is leaving this house. Why are you sitting and mourning and crying? Tata bye bye சொல்லிட்டு அடுத்த வேலையை பாருங்கப்பா, he's saying. That is shifting from sharira bhava to jiva bhava. Now this itself looks very philosophical. This itself looks such a great philosophy. Then comes for the jiva, certain things are told, and then from adama to madhyama, all that he comes. Now, what happens by this knowledge? What is amrtatvam? Amrtatvam is freedom from 2 fears. மனுஷாளுக்கு 2 fear தான். Fear of pain, fear of rebirth. Amrtatvam means both the fears are gone. There's no more fear of pain. Naraka. See, all human beings are worried about only 2 things. All that you acquire, all that you want to do, all that you want to keep safe, for what? Pain. So, 2 fear. What is the fear? Fear of Naraka, fear of Punarjanma. That's புனர்ஜன்மாலாம் அது ஜீவபாவ வந்தாதான் புனர்ஜன்மா ஃபியர் வரும் இல்லையா? ஜீவபாவம் வந்தா புனர்ஜன்மா ஃபியர், சரீர பாவத்துல இருந்தா நரகா. So immortality is freedom from sharira bhava and jiva bhava. Sharira bhavana narakam, punarjanmamna jiva. நாலேஜுக்கு என்ன பிரயோஜனம்பான்னு கேட்பாங்க. வாட் இஸ் த பிரயோஜனம் ஆஃப் திஸ் நாலேஜ்? 2 ஃபியர் போகுது, இதுக்கு மேல என்ன பெனிஃபிட் வேணும் சார்? எங்களுக்கு அந்த ப்ராப்ளம்லாம் இல்லை, இல்ல எங்களுக்கு நரகம், எங்களுக்கு புனர்ஜென்ம பிரச்சனை எல்லாம் கிடையாது. இன்னைக்கு இல்லையா, இன்னைக்கு பிரச்சனைக்கு ஏதாவது வழி சொல்லுங்க சார்னா, we are talking about all that. பிரதிபோத விதிதம் மதம் அமிர்தத்வம் ஹி விந்ததே. வாட் இஸ் அமிர்தத்வம்? வாட் இஸ் இஸ் இம்மோர்டாலிட்டி? இந்த எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன்லாம் கொடுத்தாதான் that Adam Adhikari will get inspired. In the explanation is given to whom? Adam Adhikari, because the Uttama has gone. Manda is getting stuck somewhere. Adama has to be lifted up. So all these explanations are given to whom? To these level of students. Are you able to follow? What is immortality? Immortality is freedom from fear. Mritam means yama, fear. Yama nale fear. யார் வீட்லயாவது do we have the picture of Lord Yama in the house? ஒரிஜினலா வைக்கணும், அவருக்கு தான் வைக்கணும், isn't it? For all you should have one picture. Who you should have? Yama. And every day you have to pray to him only. யோ இன்னைக்கு வராதப்பான்னு சொல்லியா? Every day you have to say, don't come today, don't come today. Yeah. See, one thing that is there is there. See, all experienced hunters are fearing. It is the frightened people are experienced hunters. Are you able to connect now? All the experienced hunters are shivering, frightened. What are they shivering? What are they frightened about? Dukkam. Dukkam is narakam. Dukkam is narakam. Narakam vana. Sukham vana. And what you don't understand is what? Sukham kekumbode. What have you asked for? Huh? When you have asked for Sukham, whether you understand it or not, whether you like it or not, you have asked for Narakam along with it. ஏன்னா சுகமோடைய ட்வின் சிஸ்டர் யாரு? நரகம். ஸோ ஒருத்தவங்க வந்தாங்கன்னா கூடவே they will also come. நீங்க வராதீங்கோ, நீங்க மட்டும் வாங்கலாம் சொல்லவே முடியாது. Able to follow? So experienced hunters will be a victim of this. So first பயம் என்ன உங்களுக்கு? ஸ்ரீதேவி வெளியே போகக்கூடாது, இன்னொரு தேவி உள்ளே வரக்கூடாது, isn't it? That's why goddess also, we have 2 types of goddesses. One type of goddess is called Sridevi, Ram Subramaniam. Another type of goddess, பேரை சொல்லக்கூடாது இல்லையா? பேர் சொன்னாலே பாவம். ஏற்கனவே சுத்தி உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கிறாங்க, பேரை சொன்னா நம்மள போக வேணும்னு சொல்றாங்களோன்னு she will anchor herself more on. அதனால பேரே சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஸ்ரீதேவி அண்ட் மூதேவி. இல்லையா, நீங்க சொல்லாதீங்க, நான் சொல்றேன், doesn't matter. இல்லையா, நீங்க ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்ரீதேவி மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க. 2 kinds of goddess. யாரு? ஸ்ரீதேவி, அவ்வளவுதான். மூதேவி ஐ வில் சே. இல்லையா, why should you suffer? மூதேவி என்கிட்டே இருக்கட்டும் அந்த அம்மா. So when you are asking for Sukham, what you don't realize is you have asked for Dukkam along with it. Therefore there cannot be Sukham without the accompaniment of Dukkam. அதுதான் பயம். அதுதான் பயம். என்ன பயம்? சுகம்னு கேட்டாலே துக்கமும் கூடவே வருதே, அது என்னப்பா பயமா இருக்குதுன்றதுதான். Don't worry, lay person doesn't have even this fear now. உத்தமா, மத்தியமா, அதமா, அசுரா, அதுக்கு கீழே ஏதோ ஒரு கேட்டகரி இருந்தா அந்த கேட்டகரியில வந்துடும் போல் இருக்கு. Able to follow? Sharira bhava to jiva, from sharira to jiva. அதுதான் immortality-னா, understand it like that. Immortality means freedom from naraka, freedom from punarjanma. ஜீவனுக்கு பயம் புனர்ஜென்மா, ஷரீரத்துக்கு பயம் நரகம். 2 பயம் தான். ஷரீரத்துக்கு பயம் நரகம், ஓல்டேஜ் நரக்கம். அதனால ஓல்டேஜை கண்டா பயம். எப்படி ஃபாலோ? அப்படியே இருக்கும்போதே டக்குன்னு போயிடணும் சார். தூங்கின்னு இருக்கும்போதே போயிடணும். எங்க போறது? எங்கேயும் போவாது. வேறு அப்படியே இல்லையா? பீப்புள் ஆஸ்க். அனாயாச மரணம். அங்க கூட எஃபர்ட்லெஸ் டையிங் கூட ஓகே சார். அந்த வலி வரக்கூடாது, அவ்வளவுதான். shivering. That fellow will be covered in everything they do. That's why human beings are covered, irrespective of the attainments and achievements that they have gotten. At the core, they still remain covered. Covered is because of what? Pain. எனக்கு பெயின் வரக்கூடாது, அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு நான் பெயின் கொடுக்கும்போது அவங்க பொறுத்துக்கணும். அதான் புரியுதா? ஒரு இது நரக்காக்கு அசுராக்கு கீழே ஒரு கேட்டகரி. Nobody should give me pain, but when I give pain to others, they should put up with it. Ram Subramaniam, understand? யாருமே கோஆபரேட் பண்ண மாட்டேன்றாங்க சார். என்ன கோஆபரேஷன்? You are giving pain, they are not cooperating. You are giving pain, they say don't give me pain. அதான் சொல்றாங்க. That you will call it as not cooperating, because you do exactly the same. இம்மார்டாலிட்டின்னா என்ன? சுனில், பிரம்மன், அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணு. இம்மார்டாலிட்டின்னா freedom from two fears. What are the two fears? Naraka. Technically it is called Naraka and Punarjanma. Punarjanma fear Rama developed. In Yoga Vasishtha, Rama had the fear of Punarjanma. What is the fear he had? How many times we have said that? He asked, he told Dasharatha, how many fathers I have had in the past, O Dasharatha? You don't know. I myself don't know. How will you know? How many more fathers I am going to have in the future? You don't know. How many mothers I have had in the past? How many more mothers I am going to have in the future? The memory loss இருக்கிறதுனால we are all escaping. Yeah, அப்போகனம். The memory loss வந்துடுது. Memory loss இருக்கிறதுனால we are through intellect you are supposed to penetrate and understand. What are you supposed to understand? I am not a Sharira. I am not the Jiva. I am Brahman. Pratibodha viditam amritam hi bindate. Second, Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. Another complication. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. So, இந்த ஆத்மனா விந்ததே வீரியம்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? Through oneself, one attains power. Atmana vindate வீரியம். வித்யயா விந்ததே மிருதம். அப்படின்னா சீக்வன்ஸ் அங்க. Through one's own self, we have to attain power, and that power will help you to gain the knowledge, and through that knowledge, you will attain immortality. அப்படி புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். I will follow. Atmana vindate வீரியம் vidyaya vindate mritam. Through oneself, one attains power. Through knowledge, one attains immortality. அப்படின்னா what does it mean? Viryam sadhana chatushtaya sampat objectivity. Understand it like that. Viryam means sadhana chatushtaya sampat objectivity. Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. Atmana means self-effort. Through oneself. Through oneself என்ன அர்த்தம்? Through one's own effort. What is through one's own effort means? சாதன சதுஷ்டயம் என்றால் சாதன சதுஷ்டயம்ல ஆத்மனா விந்ததே வீரியம். Without this வீரியம், if you gain Vedantic knowledge, that Vedantic knowledge will have no impact on the listener. எவ்வளவு மில்லியன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஜென்மாஸ் கேட்டாலும் அப்படியே தான் இருக்கும். குளத்தூர். சார் எவ்வளோ கேட்டாலும் அப்படியே இருப்போமே சார். அப்படியே தானே இருக்கிறோம், அப்படியே தான் இருக்கும். Why? Because sadhana chatushtayam is not done at all. Atmana vindate viryam is not done. So without that Atmana vindate viryam, லாங்குவேஜும் ஒரு ஆவரேஜ் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸும் லாங்குவேஜ் ஸ்கில்லும் ஒரு நல்ல டீச்சரும் கிடைச்சா information wise you can understand Vedanta completely. If you have an average intelligence and language and the good teacher, இந்த மூணு காம்பினேஷன் என்ன ஆகும்? You can understand Vedanta. அதுக்கு தான் தமிழ்ல ஒரு பியூட்டிஃபுல் வேர்டு இருக்கு இல்லையா? If anybody speaks Vedanta, they will say வரட்டு வேதாந்தம். This dry Vedanta. Dry Vedanta means that person is talking something which that fellow doesn't know. Not even a bit of it that person is practicing. Not even a bit of it that person is convinced. We call it varatu means dry. Okay. Varatina, what is varati? Tamil word varati. Telugula, what would you call that? Cow, dried cow dung paste. What would you call that in Telugu? Tamil varatin சொல்றோம். Huh? Huh? I can't hear. What is that? Peda. Peda. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hindila? Huh? Hindila? Okay, whatever be it. Vedanta will be like that, dried up, useless for nothing it is. Why? Because without that Atmana Vindate Viryam, you can gain the knowledge. You can gain the information. But it will be very, very dry, very useless. Everything in that person will be dry. Everything, or there will be a bitterness, frustration, everything will be there in that person. Therefore, first qualification to understand the relevance of Vedanta, to see the relevance of Vedanta, to see that, to understand Vedanta, the first thing that is required is preparation. That is what he says as Atmana Vindate Viryam. You get power. What is the power you get? The power of Vairagya, the power of sannyas, the power of objectivity, the power of being a sakshi. I will follow now. Atmana Vindate Viryam. Through all these right efforts, etc., you get that. Okay. Sadhana, Chatushtaya, Sampat, etc., all that means what? Karma, Bhakti. In the language of Upanishad, it is karma and upasana. In the modern day language, you can call it as Bhakti, even though Bhakti is one part of upasana. Nowadays, Bhakti was separated and mentioned. We are also using the word Bhakti. Actually, technically speaking, should use the word karma and upasana. Qualification is necessary. Qualification is compulsory. Vidyaya vindate viryam. Viryam means skill. Viryam means power. It is skill. It's power. What is the skill? What is the power of a human being? The ability to receive the knowledge, observe it, digest it is viryam, power. Are you able to follow? Power na materialistic power, political power, adalla spiritual power, siddhi power lang கிடையாது. Viryam na enna? The ability to receive knowledge, digest it, make it your own, live it. This power is called viryam. Atmana vindate viryam. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampat, cause effect is viryam. Vidyaya vindate mritam. That viryam is a prerequisite for receiving Vedantic knowledge. Vidyaya, with that viryam you receive Vedantic knowledge. And the gap we are supplying in between. Atmana vindate viryam. Through viryam you gain this knowledge. Vidyaya vindate mritam. So, sadhana chatushtaya sampat, viryam, vidya, amritam. That's the sequence. Sadhana. Pratibodha viditam, matam ashnute, madhyam adhikari. Adam adhikari. Are you able to follow? One mantras. The entire adhikaris, entire path is laid out. That's why we said this is the second line is talking about the third category. What is the third category? The Adama. Adama must do sadhana chatushtaya sampat. Are you able to follow? Madhyam adhikari, pratibodha viditam, etc. We said. Are you able to remember? Pratibodha viditam, etc. What should, okay, if that fellow is not able to do that, what should the person do then? Kenopanisad பார்க்கணும்ல என்ன சொன்னாங்க? ததேவ பிரம்மத்வம் வித்தி நேதம் யதிதம் உபாசதே. Uttam adhikari will understand that. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi nedam yadidam upasate. The Uttam adhikari will understand that, and then he will turn back and say, Naham manyeshu vedeti. Enlightenment is over. Okay, now the rest of the people are there. It means they belong to the other two categories. So, avangalukku or sadhana. For the mediocre kind of adhikari, the sadhana is pratibodha viditam. What is pratibodha viditam? PAFTC. When you see, don't focus on what you see, try to focus on what enables you to see. When you hear, don't get carried away by what you hear, try to understand what is enabling you to hear. இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம், இதெல்லாம் மறந்தே போறது. Are you able to follow? This sadhana is also not practical to some. So to them, what is the sadhana? Are you able to follow? To them, what is the sadhana? Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. The viryam na atmana na self-effort. Through one's own effort, you attain viryam, power, skill. What is that power, skill, etc.? The ability to receive the knowledge. Ability to receive the knowledge. You are hearing, and you will not come and say it is not making any transformation. You are hearing, and if it is not making any transformation means Atmana vindate viryam, you are not doing. What is Atmana vindate viryam? In our normal understanding, sadhana chatushtaya, karma bhakti. Atmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate mritam. One attains immortality. And here the word attaining, again within quotes. Within quotes as in, moonlight will become sunlight in ஒரு ஸ்டேஜ்ல சொல்றோம். At another stage we'll say moonlight is sunlight. A person who is convinced that they are mortal cannot do any sadhana. If you are convinced that you are mortal, you cannot do any sadhana, because whatsoever sadhana you do, you will continue to be a mortal only. And an immortal also doesn't need sadhana. Then who requires sadhana? Are you able to follow? Then who requires sadhana is confused. Whether na mortala, immortala, ஒரு சைடு பார்த்தா mortality இருக்குது, இன்னொரு சைடு பார்த்தா permanency, longing, அமிர்தத்துவம்லாம் இருக்குது. What is it? In the confused people தான் Vedanta helps. So it means what? All sadhanas changes the perception about you. Are you able to follow now? Ithoda will conclude. Sadhana ithoda mudiyum. All sadhanas changes the perception. First perceptual change about your own self is aham sharira to aham jiva. As the first change. And then the second change is aham jiva to aham brahma. So aham sharirosmi, aham jivosmi, aham brahmasmi. So all sadhanas does only one thing, changes the perception about yourself. Kenopanisad puts it very, very straightforward. No other Upanishad talks about it. Every other Upanishad will talk about it in a different way. This is what it is. A very, very profound mantra. What is it? All spiritual sadhanas is not changing the world. It's about changing the perception that you have about your own self. What is the perception you have about yourself? Aham sharira. From aham sharira, you have to understand aham jiva. Aham Jivan vandale detachment vandirudhu artham. That Aham Jiva itself is sannyasa. Aham Jiva itself is vairagya. How do we say it is sannyasa vairagya? Because you understand, you look around you, you look at your present list of demands and everything, you understand what? எவ்வளோ வாட்டி இதே கேட்டிருக்கிறோம், எவ்வளோ வாட்டி இதே வந்திருக்குது, nothing has changed. அதுதான் அகம் ஷரீரா டு அகம் ஜீவா. That itself is detachment. Are you able to understand what detachment is? But again, he knows that he's caught up in the cycle of, again, he's caught up in that cycle. So, second level is from aham jiva to aham Brahma. Therefore, all spiritual practices doesn't change anything outside. It only changes the perception about your own self. Your own self. Are you able to follow? இவ்வளோ பியூட்டிஃபுல்லாக சொல்லி கொடுக்குறோமே, கெனோபனிஷத் saying that. கெனோபனிஷத் saying that. இவ்வளோ பியூட்டிஃபுல் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறோம், இவ்வளோ extraordinary explanations are given, such a fantastic teaching is given, such a wonderful opportunity is given. இதெல்லாம் மிஸ் பண்ணா என்ன அர்த்தம்? If you miss this, what would you call this? Mantra 5 படிங்க. அதுதான் mantra 5.
इह चेदवेदि तत सत्यमस्ति न चेदिहावेदि महति विनष्टिः भूतेषु भूतेषु विचित्य धीरा प्रेत्यास्मान् लोकादमृता भवन्ति इह चेदवेदि तत सत्यमस्ति न चेदिहावेदि महति विनष्टिः भूतेषु भूतेषु विचित्य धीरा प्रेत्यास्मान् लोकादमृता भवन्ति.
If that is known here, then is truth established. If not known here, it is the greatest loss. Having reflected through every element, the wise risen from this world become immortal. முடிக்கிறார் அவர். Part 2, he is concluding with this mantra. இவ்வளோ நல்லா சொல்லியிருக்கிறோம், இவ்வளோ நல்லா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றோம். If that is known here, then is truth established. If not known here, it is the Mahadi Vinashti, greatest loss. Having reflected through every element, the wise risen from this world become immortal. Now, what is he saying here? Viveka Chudamani, he says, 3 things are rare. Durlabam Trayameva Tat, he says. 3 things are difficult, he says. அதுதான் Mahati Vinashti. What is this Mahati Vinashti? 3 Durlabha. Durlabha means very rare. Very rare is to get these 3. What are the 3? First one, Manushyatvam. Becoming a human being. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabam. 84 lakh species. ஜீவாஸ் கிடையாது. 84 lakh species. ஏன்னா ஒரு ஸ்பீஷீஸுமே சப்டிவிஷன் இஸ் தேர். ஃப்ராக்னு எடுத்தாலே 120 வெரைட்டிஸ் ஆஃப் ஃப்ராக். மஸ்கிட்டோஸ்னு எடுத்தாலே டே மஸ்கிட்டோ, நைட் மஸ்கிட்டோ. அதுலேயே சிக்கன் குனியா மஸ்கிட்டோ, டெங்கு மஸ்கிட்டோ, என்னெல்லாமோ இருக்குது. isn't it? Some mosquito will bite, some mosquito will not bite. If some mosquito bites, nothing will happen. ஒரு மஸ்கிட்டோலயே இவ்வளோ வெரைட்டி இருக்குது. Jandunam Narajanma Durlabam. See, imagine you could have been a mosquito in this room. You could have been a frog somewhere. You could have been some karwad somewhere, isn't it? Somewhere you could have been all that. Don't realize it. First thing he says, Manushyatvam. Somehow we got this human birth. Second, Manushyatvam mumukshatuam is still rare. Manushyatvam itself is rare. Amongst the human beings, mumukshatvam is still rare, very rare. There are people who wants moksha, mumukshu, but they don't know what is moksha means. The third. What is the third? What is the third? Mahapurusha Samshrayam. Mahapurusha Samshraya means an opportunity to associate with the Mahapurusha, the divine person. That's why Ramana says, you will come to a wise man and you will not know what to ask. You will not know what to ask. Why? Because you want freedom, but you will think freedom means making money. So one fellow will be chasing money, thinking money will give freedom. Another person will chase something else, thinking that will give freedom. Another person will think Vaikuntha is freedom. Another person will think Shivaloka is freedom. And then fight will come. Which Loka is superior? Is Shiva superior or Vishnu superior? All that will start. Rarely is one who understand moksha means change of perception about your own self. What is moksha? What is moksha? It's not attaining something. It's a simple change of perception about yourself. What is the change of perception about yourself? Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. So moksha means a change of perception about yourself from Sharira to Jiva to Brahma. Tadvijnanartham, Mundakopanishad. Tadvijnanartham Sagurumeva Abhigachet Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan. இதெல்லாம் ஒரே வார்த்தையில கேனோபனிஷத் சேஸ் மகதி வினஷ்டி. இதெல்லாம் இவ்வளவு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கிடைச்சும் you miss it. What would you call that person? And what is the consequences of the missing? Human birth is rare. Desire for moksha is there. Having gotten the knowledge, because the Upanishad is addressing its students. Narayana. It's not addressing us. Upanishad is addressing its students. Avanga student he is addressing. What is he addressing? Mahadi vinashti. What an opportunity you got. Look at others. Even in the name of moksha, where all they are getting lost. Where all they are all getting lost. You look at all that. First of all, they don't have that interest. Even if they have that interest, where all they are getting lost. Blind leading the blind. Here you are. A few. Definitely not this classroom. That Upanishadic classroom he is addressing. Here you are, the rare few sitting here, having gotten this knowledge. What is the knowledge that you got? Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate mritam. Means what? Liberation means change of perception about your own self. Having gotten all this, if you miss it, Ata satyam asti. If you get it, it is satyam. Satyam means you have lived a truthful life. What is truthful light? Moon doesn't have a light, it is reflecting sunlight. That's truth. What is the truth? Believing that moon has light is asatyam. What is satyam? Moon doesn't have its own light. It is only reflected light. Mahadi vinashti, infinite loss. Actually, it is not infinite loss. It is loss of the infinite. Therefore, follow what we are teaching. Therefore, follow what we are teaching. What is the following the teaching? Vichara, inquiry. What is inquiry? Bhuteshu vichitya. What is this bhuteshu vichitya? This bhuteshu vichitya is pratibodha viditam of previous mantra. Same thing. Bhuteshu vichitya is nothing but pratibodha viditam. Don't get carried away by the mixture, segregate and see as the knowledge. What is the segregation? Moonlight and light and the segregation. What does knowledge mean? Segregation. Segregate. Because you are getting carried away by the mixture. Don't get carried away by the mixture. What is the mixture? Spirit plus matter is the mixture. So what do? Segregate the two. Spirit and matter. When you focus on the matter, you are getting distracted by the changing factors. Matter attention on the changing factors will affect you. Or understand it reverse. Wherever you are getting affected, it means your attention has shifted to the matter. And once your attention shifts to the matter, it doesn't matter. What does it mean? Once your attention shifts to the matter, it is either Naraka or Punarjanma. Already சொன்னதோட summary அவ்வளவுதான் இல்லையா? If your attention shifts to the matter, it is either Naraka or Punarjanma. Mahati vinashti. What a loss it is. He gives a beautiful explanation. And I think once in 3 lectures, Swamiji gives this Mahati vinashti segregation he will give. Very beautifully he gives. Nashti means loss. Vinashti means supreme most loss. Mahati vinashti means the supreme most loss of all the supreme most loss. Loss is dangerous. Loss itself is Naraka. Supreme most lost is more Naraka. Supreme most loss of all the supreme most losses. இது என்ன சொல்றது இது? Mahati vinashti. Mahati vinashti. Mahati vinashti. You are losing yourself in that. Losing yourself in that. You go to the movie, you miss the screen and you get carried away by what is shown on the screen. And when you get carried away by what is shown on the screen, what will happen? White screen will be very boring, isn't it? White screen is always boring. That's why when you go to the movie, you should go when nothing is there and keep watching. People coming, going, lights on, popcorn is coming, Pepsi is coming, fight is happening, ella happening. And then suddenly the bell rings. Yeah, ringmaster job. Suddenly the bell rings and the whole thing goes dark. Anga dark, aga, your eyes open up. Your eyes are opening up. For what? Whatsoever happens on the screen. Bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha. The wise one, the courageous one. Dhiraha means the courageous one. The wise one. Pretya asmat lokat. Asmat lokat pretya. Pretya asmat loka means having thus discriminated. Pret asmat lokat. Asmat lokat pretya. So from Sharira Bhava, he comes to Jiva Bhava. From Jiva Bhava, he goes to Aham Brahma. The moment he goes to Aham Brahma, what happens? That is immortality. The Jiva Bhava has the problem. The Jiva Bhava is having the problem. What is the Jiva Bhava problem? Ahankara in relation to the body, mind, intellect. Mamakara in relation to the objects and beings outside. Jiva Bhava கிட்ட 2 problem இருக்குது. ஜீவன்னாலே problem தான். 2 problem. I and mind. I in relation to your body, mind, intellect. Mind in relation to the objects and beings. So, possession, profession, family, idalla mind, mama. Body, mind, intellect is aham, I. So what is jiva? Aham plus mama. This aham plus mama equals jiva. Dhira is a wise person. Who's Dhira? A wise one who has understood this distinction. What is the distinction? In the ahamyum clip on mama has to be clipped. The aham has to be clipped. How do you clip the aham and mama? Isavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat ena tyaktena bhunjitam magrida kasya svidhanam. This ahankaran mamakara, don't you understand? It is stealing. This ahankaran mamakara is stealing. That which belongs to Isa, that which belongs to Isavasyam idam sarvam. Sarvam idam Isa. That you claim it as mine. Isavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Okay, the aham and mama are the now raga dvesha will come. So aham and mama. From aham and mama comes raga and dvesha. What is raga and dvesha? These things should happen to me. These things should not happen to me. இதெல்லாம் நடக்கணும், இதெல்லாம் நடக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு லிஸ்ட். நெய்பர்ஸ்க்கு என்ன வேணா நடக்கட்டும். Who cares? Isn't it? So from aham and mama comes raga and dvesha. Okay. In the raga and dvesha, how does it manifest? The raga dvesha, how does it manifest? இதெல்லாம் நீங்களே பதில் சொல்லணும். Raga dvesha, how does it manifest? Krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, bhaya. இதெல்லாம் the modification. Aham and mama I will not let go. Raga and dvesha attitude I will keep. But I want freedom from what? Kama. I want freedom from krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, bhaya. Aham and mama I will not let go. Raga and dvesha I will not dilute, but I want freedom from all these. Dhiraha means a courageous one. Who's the courageous one? The courageous one gets this understanding. Bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasma loka amrita bhavanti. They attain immortality. So first category attained immortality and left. There are some category who still aspiring to get immortality. And the aspiring to get immortality are two category. Jiva category and Sharira category. Jiva category or sadhana. Sharira category or sadhana. Rendathiyum utta. If you miss both, Mahati vinashti. Therefore, listen to us. The Upanishad says, listen to us, listen to me, and be a dhira and attain immortality. Immortality na freedom from the fear of Naraka and Punarjanma. Poor definition of moksha. Another definition of moksha is aham sharira, aham jiva to aham brahma. Pretyasman loka amrita bhavanti. Beautiful mantra. He is concluding it. Ihacheta vedi atasatyamasti acheti havedin mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasmal lokat amrita bhavanti. They attain immortality. Attaining within brackets. It has a very limited meaning. Attaining immortality. With this, we conclude mantra 5 part 2 of Kenopanisad. ஒண்ணுமே புரியல சார். பார்ட் 1 புரியல, பார்ட் 2 புரியல. இல்லையா? பார்ட் 1 also didn't understand, part 2 also didn't understand. Don't worry. Part 3 and 4, the same Upanishad presents itself in the form of a story. Same Upanishad, no new messages. Exactly the same message will present itself in the form of the story, which is 3 and 4. Next month, we will study 3 and 4 combined. Next month, we will study 3 and 4 combined in இன்னைக்கு சொல்றோம். இப்போ மந்திரம் எடுக்கும்போது தான் we will know what is he going to say. It may stretch also, we don't know. As of now, we have concluded with part 2, Kenopanisad. Gacheta vedi tadasatyamasti, gachedi vedin mahati vinashtihi, bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha, pretyasmal lokadamrita bhavanti. With this, we conclude this Upanishad. Next month, we will meet for part 3.